Welcome to another edition of Discover Tinley. My name's Ron Centani. I'll be your host tonight. Tonight we got a pretty special program. We got a couple of people who have been around Tinley Park for a while and doing some things in Tinley Park that are really outstanding services to the cultural aspect of Tinley Park. So we have with us the Artistic and Executive Director, Daniel DeWalt, and the Associate Director, Lisa Akroush. I say it right?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Very good.
Welcome to Discover Tinley, and part of the theater group of Tinley Park. Now, describe your roles with the theater program in Tinley Park.
Well, we work with Covered Bridge Studios and Covered Bridge Theaters, and we contract with the Park District to provide a wide variety of artistic and theatrical opportunities for the community, especially the children. We do, Lisa and I direct about 4 children's theater plays per year.
Oh my!
And then Mike Gandy and I switch off each year or each season doing the community theater.
Wow, I didn't realize there were that many children's theater programs. What are some things you've done in the past? What are some children's plays and programs you've done in the past?
Well, I started in 2004 with the Park District in Tinley, and our first play was The Time Machine, H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. But we've done a wide variety of plays. Recently, we've done Into the Woods.
That was a community theater with the adults.
Miracle Worker. Lisa's done a few plays with us.
Yeah, what have you done?
Well, I came on in about 2006, and I started with the set designing, and then eventually started directing. And I believe the first play I directed was Jungle Book, which was last fall through the Covered Bridge in Tinley Park. And my understanding was we broke a lot of records with seating and
Really?
A lot of the families coming out, one of the largest shows they had. So it was really exciting to have that. And then this past fall, did the Velveteen Rabbit, which again, sold out show, fantastic. The families are just been fantastic, really supportive, coming out to see the show, to see the kids.
Wow. Now, what do you think of the new theater in town here?
Oh, we love it. It's been a long time, as Mike mentioned to you. But yeah, we're very appreciative. Mike and Lisa and I were on the committee to design the theater and to consult, and we love it.
What do you like about it? What's the advantage of this one as opposed to where you had to do all the productions before?
I think it's more comfortable for the audience. There's better seating. There's better acoustics. It lends itself to a more intimate and interesting theatrical experience for the young and old.
Definitely, definitely much more flexible for us, being able to get in there when we can, because now it's owned by the Park District. We don't have to check with anyone else's schedules. We can be in there more often and use the space to prepare better for our shows.
Wow.
Right, and a much better stage itself. It's nice. It's wider. It's more to what we need compared to what we've had in the past.
Wow. Now, what's coming up now? You've got a pretty big thing coming up in the spring. A pretty big play coming up in the spring now. What are you producing and directing coming up this spring?
Well, in the spring, I'm directing the play Bleacher Bums, which is a play about a comedy about the Chicago Cubs.
No comments about the Cubs out there. We're Cub fans in here, so okay.
It's a great
I'll be
play.
assistant directing with him on that.
Oh, okay.
And also my set designer.
Yes.
Then I have a new director working with me, Bridget Morrissey. She'll be directing the play for the older children, for the younger children. That's right, the younger children, Robin Hood.
Okay.
And Lisa.
I'll be directing And Flights of Angels for the teen kids, which is based on Hamlet. It's actually the story of what happens after Hamlet has passed away, and Horatio decides to bring a troupe of actors together to tell Hamlet's story, which was his dying request to his friend.
Oh,
yeah, we're very excited about that.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. So yeah, talk about the children's plays. What is coming up in that now? You talked about a couple that are coming up now, and projection for how many? What, do you still want to do a couple or 3 or 4 per year?
Right. We do a spring play. We start auditions late January, early February for our spring plays, and they go up near the middle of May. And then we, in the fall, late August, early September, we do auditions for our fall plays, which we're starting to think about and what we want to do at that time. And it'll again be 2 plays, one for the older children or more experienced children, one for the younger children.
Okay.
See? And then of course Mike will be working on the his play for the community theater at that time.
How do people get involved? How do you get kids involved, and how can they get involved in your programs? And what does it take to get involved in your programs?
Well, they can go to the Tinley Park District on 171st and 80th Avenue and get a copy of the Park District program, which they put out a few times of the year and has all the information. They can call the Park District at 708-342-4200, or they can call my office, which Covered Bridge, which is 708-371-5432. And if they do that, if they do the latter, we can get them on our database and our mailing list and let them know of everything that we've got going on, because we have, besides theater, we have a wide variety of other entertainment opportunities and classes. We teach about 20 different acting
talk about
disciplines.
some of those other. We talked about that. What are some of the other classes and programs you offer? I can't believe the variety of things that you. It's not just one children's play. There's a variety of things. Yeah, talk about some of the other programs that the kids and other people can get involved in.
Well, what's very popular is our comedy improv program, which I've been teaching since 1993. My own background is with Chicago Second City, where I worked as a writer, teacher, and actor. And I use a Second City style format in our training. The children go through a year of training, and once they graduate from the 4 levels that we have of improv, they can become a member of our Kids on the Bridge comedy improv troupe, which is a semi-professional troupe. Sometimes we have gigs, they get paid for it, sometimes not. And aside from that, we also have classes in scene study, audition monologue skills, classes on how to create a sitcom. I have a class coming up in March that I hope your viewers will check out, Beginners on Camera Acting, where they'll learn how to act on camera. And that works out because in the summer we do a special film program. This past summer I actually wrote a film called Starring in My Very Own Life, and that ended up being an hour and 18-minute long feature film, and it was shown at Marcus Theaters. We had about 40 actors from the community. About half of them had no experience, but they learned through the process, and they did a fantastic job. Wow. Lisa's got a class coming up in March as well.
And actually, the class that I will be teaching in March is Intro to Acting and Improv. So that's a perfect class if a child or an adult isn't sure what type of acting that they would like. They could take that class and be introduced to improv, to on camera, to commercials, to dramatic, theatrical, live theater, just a little taste of everything. And they can go from there and decide which one they really like, and continue on with some of the other classes that we have.
How can somebody get good at improv? I always thought that was something you almost had to have in you a little bit. What kind of things can you teach somebody to do improv? I mean, that's something you have to think off the top of your head.
Well, improv is 3 disciplines in one. It's certainly an acting discipline, but it's a creative discipline, and the actor learns how to work at the top of their intelligence and to trust their own instincts and their own knowledge and to move where they need to move. It's also a communications discipline. We have a lot of students who take the class because their parents have found that by getting into improv, it's really helped them to focus their talents and their skills not only creatively but academically. So a lot of our kids end up getting better grades in school because of their exposure to our training.
Wow, I never heard that. That's interesting. So if you want your kids to be better in school, then let's send them to acting school. But it teaches some discipline and memorization and learning how to do things. Yeah, I could see where they probably could. Wow.
It also teaches them how to think quickly on their feet and how to problem solve. So that's also somewhere where they can help them in school.
Okay.
Right. One of the big things I think they learn too is to get away from that concept of audience as judge, where they look at the audience as part of what they're doing, and there's a connection. They just get, the butterflies go away and they're just fine.
Wow. Now I heard you talking before about an open mic program you've got coming too then.
Yes, we're going to be putting together, since we now have the new theater, we're going to be doing shows with our Kids on the Bridge comedy improv troupe. We have a professional comedy improv troupe, Graffiti on the Fourth Wall. They'll be doing a combination show along with an open mic opportunity at the new theater.
Wow. And one other thing we talked about before, you talked about the special needs program. I thought that was kind of interesting. What kind of program do you have now for special needs kids?
Well, as Lisa just mentioned, she teaches a class for us called Introduction to Acting and Improv. So we have a variation of that for children with special needs.
What kind of needs? What kind of needs are we talking about?
Children with autism, children with other social
learning challenges,
learning
ADHD.
disabilities.
Okay.
And this way, because the real big thing with children with special needs is they want to move from being separated into the mainstream. So our programs are very inclusion oriented. With that particular class, and Lisa's going to be teaching one this January, the children finish that and then they springboard right into these other programs. In the film we did this past summer, we had about 5 or 6 children with special needs. Did fantastic.
Wow, fantastic. And what's been your experience so far with that?
It's been amazing to see the difference between that first class and then 6 weeks later, what the difference is just in the 6 weeks between when they first walk in the door to our performance night. Some of the kids, it's like a different child altogether. It's just amazing. It's really rewarding, too, to be part of that.
Wow. Now, what age groups are you talking about with your children's plays? How do you divide them up, and what age groups are you looking at for the children's plays?
Well, the plays, depending upon what season of the year it is, our plays, we work with children from 7 to 17, and we're flexible on that. Now, sometimes the age relationship is really based upon children who are 7 through 12 for the younger children, and 13 through 17 for the older play. But sometimes we do it differently, where it's a skill level. In other words, children 7 through 17 do one play, regardless of their acting experience. And then another one where children aren't allowed if they've already had a leading role in a play in that same age range. And this gives children who have never had the opportunity to get a bigger role to finally get that kind of a role because they're not competing with children who have more experience.
You don't have 1 or 2 people hogging all the, the spotlights on it, which is beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of good to get the experience. Well, you get about a minute left or so. What's coming up, and have you got a date for your Bleacher Bums yet? Or
yes, we actually do. The Bleacher Bums that's going up.
April
16th through the 2 weekends in a row, the 16th, 17th, and the 23rd and 24th.
Actually, not the 23rd and 24th because
right,
we just found out that was Easter weekend. So we changed
yes.
it to the weekend before, which I believe is the 9th and the 10th. That's Saturday and Sunday, and then the 16th and 17th.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can always go to tinleyparkdistrict.org to find out this information. There's a calendar there that lets you know what programs are coming up, ours and all the other great programs at the Park District. And then, of course, for the children's plays, those are going to be going up May 6th, 7th, and 8th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And there'll be plenty of information on that.
Wow.
We're just very grateful that the Park District, Tinley Park District, has given us this opportunity to work with them and to trust trust us with their kids and their adults.
Yeah. Thanks for all you're doing, and thanks for keeping up the good program in Tinley Park. So look out for the programs, Bleacher Bums, Children's Plays coming up, and we'll see you next month with a next guest.